I'm making my this video on my thoughts about the Campbell June water thing and how weird it is. Basically, I was at Campbell June during a water contamination period back in 1985. Actually, I was there from 83 to 85. And it's very strange because I went like 25 years without needing any medical assistance, like through the VA or anything. As soon as I went to the VA, it was like, hurry up and wait. Before, when I worked as an electrician, it was like, hurry up and get it done. And now, it's just like, hurry up and wait. Don't do nothing. And me, by nature, I'm always like, I gotta do something. I don't care if I'm digging in a dumpster. I gotta go do something. But there comes some time, I guess, in any person's life where it's time to sit back and just say, you know what? It is what it is. And know that your limitations, like you have limitations. Like there's only so much you can do. Like if I look out the window out there, I have 2 cars that are completely paid off. And I used to work like a dog just to pay off 1 car. It would take me forever just to pay off my work truck. Now it's like I have everything just basically delivered to me. But it does feel strange that when there's a sense of fight or flight, because a lot of times you're like, oh shit, what should I be doing right now? For instance, here's somebody right here delivering something. But that in itself is a blessing, because I don't really have to go out and do nothing if I don't want to do nothing. I can just sit here and watch the world go by when other people are out there busting their ass. But it also makes me think that I'm getting old. And everything I worked for and everything I have is a culmination of my efforts in the past, in the Marine Corps, in the Navy, as an electrician. Just all the different things that I did brought me to the stage of life that I'm at right now. A lot of times just sit there and watch the world go by. I mean, sure, everything could fall apart, and I could lose everything, but at this point in my life, I don't really care. I don't feel anything. As far as like the need to hustle, the need to be anywhere, the need to prove myself, I just don't feel like I have any need to go out and prove myself. And that's one thing I started realizing about, especially when I look at YouTube and watch all these freaking videos on, mostly kids. I mean, mostly kids with, younger people. Kids to me would be anybody under 30. But I look at some of these comments on posts and stuff, where people are like, "This world is so weird. I don't understand the world." And from the way I observe the world now compared to the way I observed it, say, prior to 9/11, is 180% different. I mean, the world has gone fully digital, so everything that you need, there's no human interaction. I mean, even like say like a Amazon delivery driver, everything is done, remotely pretty much. I mean, you're just sitting in a truck and you're driving products around. So all the time think about that and see like where I'm at in my life after all these years of working. And I realized that I was probably born in the best time. I was born in 1963. And back then, obviously things were pretty simple. But growing up as a kid, even into my 20s, we were the first like people that were like, well, the people I grew up with anyway, we were like the first people that were like into punk, into like rockabilly, different type of culture, but it was more like about having fun. It wasn't so serious because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have like, it was just like families, but the families were not all crazy. All inundated with social media. So, but I see some of the younger people and they're talking about how the world is crazy, how the world sucks. And in a way, I kind of feel sorry for them because, there's so much pressure. So much pressure put on young people to excel and to learn things. Like mostly everything's technology. But if you can't grasp the whole technology thing and actually be able to make a living with it, I mean, what do you do? You just sit there like, like me, I don't understand technology very well, but I didn't have to. When I was in the Marines, all we used were like, everything was manual, Nowadays, everything's all technology. Everything's like e-signed and all that other stuff. And I think there's a feeling of a lot of people where they're like, I just want to be like out in nature. I just want to sit out in the woods. I just want to stare at the world. Like I don't want to do nothing. I just want to look at the world because the world fascinates me, but everything about society does nothing for me. And I totally get it because that's where I'm at in my life. Society means nothing to me anymore. It doesn't mean anything. I have no feelings towards it. But that's what happens when you get old. Because you're retired. So you're like, well, what am I going to do anyway? Get in a car, go drive somewhere, and then end up there, and then be like, okay, now what? So, but I will say one thing about getting older, and I have to remind myself many times a day, is that getting older is a blessing. Not everybody reaches the age that I'm at 61 years old. Not everybody makes it to this point. I have friends that have died already. Sometimes I wonder when my time's going to come, but then try not to think about it too much. So everything in life pretty much seems like a distraction. You know. But those are just my thoughts on whatever I was thinking today. Well, I'm eating a carrot like freaking Bugs Bunny. But I don't know. Weird times. And weird times calls for weird action. So I would say, if you're feeling down, you feel like social media has driven you to the point of absolute insanity, pick up like a guitar and just learn a couple chords. When I went on this little trip I took, everybody's drinking but me. But I was the only one that knew how to play guitar. So I provided the entertainment, and we're just sitting in the woods playing guitar and just screaming at the top of our lungs out in an old mountain. Basically $1 million house out in the mountains. So, but at the same time, I had this weird feeling realizing that even though I'm sitting out here, I was sitting out there in this big, huge house, like a log cabin out in the middle of the woods. I still felt weird. Not like I didn't belong there, but like, wow, this is nice, but everybody's drinking. So everything is a distraction. And the main distraction nowadays, in my opinion, is the internet. Everybody's on the internet. Like all the time. Back in the day, we used to be in a dumpster. Digging the dumpsters for bottles, change, quarters, whatever. We'd find whatever we could. And nowadays, everything's online. So, I guess that would be my suggestion at this point. If you got nothing else to do, don't know where your life's heading, start out simple, start out small. Don't try to conquer everything. Screw conquering everything. It's not going to work. Can't be everywhere at once. Pick up a guitar, buy a cheap guitar on Craigslist. That's what I did, $50. And learn 3 chords. Learn like the chords D, G, and A. With D, G, and A, you can do just about anything. You can play almost any song, any freaking rock song almost. You know, but D, G, and A, those are very easy chords to learn. And pick up a guitar. Go on Craigslist, you get a guitar for like $50, acoustic guitar, older acoustic guitar. And then just pick it up and learn a couple of chords and see what happens. You know? Couldn't hurt. All right, thanks for watching.